This morning, I am going to be having some strawberry blessings from the garden for breakfast. I love fresh, homegrown strawberries. One potato bed weeded, except for the Egyptian onions, kale, spinach, and carrots that are growing in it. As soon as the kale finishes going to seed, these funky little pods on there, and the spinach, once they finish going to seed, then I'll be able to pull them out. But at least now I can plant some potatoes in here. So one potato bed down, one to go. And the second potato bed is done. And while weeding, what to my wondering eyes did I behold but a little baby potato and a not so baby potato. So apparently I must have left a couple of potatoes in the ground last year when I harvested, and they've started coming up. So pretty cool. All right, time to plant. Alrighty, here we have the east potato bed that not only has the Egyptian onions, but it has one single bunching onion from my fall garden last year, and 2 carrots, the kale that's going to seed, and the spinach that's going to seed. So this is now planted with the Adirondack blue potatoes, which actually are more purple, which is why I love them. Oh yes, and here's a little tiny Swiss chard left over from the fall garden too. The Egyptian onions have pretty much grown it out, overgrown it. And then this bed is all planted and mulched. The east half of this one is Red Norlands, and the west half of this one is Yukon Gold. So feel a little better now. Got my potato beds in. I did have to mulch with hay. I don't currently have any straw, so I may end up regretting this. I guess we'll see whether or not I end up with a bunch of clover, alfalfa, and grass growing in here next year. But this is the one that has the little itty bitty potato from last year and the other potato from last year. So we will see. I have a feeling they're purple ones based on the color of the plant as it's coming up and the location from last year. Last year I did half of each bed in the Adirondack blue, and then I did a russet and a gold in the other halves. So, alrighty. Feel like I'm accomplishing something today. I am thankful that I saved out an extra of each variety of tomato that I planted this year. Especially because I only have one black crim that looks like it's going to make it. So I was trimming these up, and it dawned on me, taking off the suckers and any blossoms because they don't need to be blossoming in the cups. And it dawned on me that I could probably root one of the black crim trimmings, and so I'm going to give it a try. I stuck it in a cup with some soil, and we'll see if that will take root and start growing as another plant. If so, I'm going to plant this black crim over here, that one, over in the tomato bed where the raccoons wrecked my plants. This one here on the end, that's all that still looks green on it, but the stalk looks good. And last year when I lost a bunch to frost, well, I thought I lost a bunch to frost, but the stalks were still green. They still sent off suckers and kept growing. So that's good. Now this one And then this one, even the stalks don't look so good. So I have a feeling those are not going to do well. That is my only black creme that appears to have survived unscathed. I lost 2 of my 3 parsley plants. This is the only one left. So I'll have to plant something else in here. I lost 2 of my 5 shishitos. So I have a hole between those 2. There was supposed to be another one here between the plantain and that one. And then also on the other side, I lost 2 of the 3 beautiful red bells. So I will plant something else. Actually, did I lose 2 of the 3 or just 1? Maybe just 1. Let me double look here. So that one was a quadrati, and that one, so this one was a beautiful, and this one is still here, barely. Let's clean you off so you can get some sunshine on you. Whoops, okay, that's not very good. Alright. And then the one that was supposed to be over here is gone. Alright, so I only have to replace 1 of those. I don't have any more of the beautiful red bells. I don't think I have any more of the quadratis because I put the last one over there with the mixed baby bells and the extra candy cane. So I guess we'll fill in where we can. It looks like my Aunt Molly ground cherries both survived over there. And then over here, it does look like they both survived. My 5 pork chops made it through the raccoon thing almost unscathed. And then this morning, Lucky, the little tiger kitten, decided while I was investigating all of this to roll over and snapped this pork chop. So I may go ahead and plant my extra pork chop here and then go put this one in a cup and see if it will reroot. And that will be another fun little experiment. Yeah, I think that's about it. No raspberries yet, but I'm anxiously awaiting. It looks, let me double check here. I don't want to say it and be wrong. Looks like it's starting to form some berries. Yes, I am excited. It's getting closer and closer. There's one that's gonna be going. Oh, I can't wait. This is gonna be yummy. We won't get enough to make jam or anything off of this because I'm sure they won't all be ready at the same time in order to do that. But these leaves are just lovely. When it puts out the new leaves, they have this pretty pinky red on them, and it is just lovely. But the raspberries themselves will be even lovelier. I'm trying to decide if my glads are going to come up this year. I see a bunch of small things here that almost, they don't look like normal grass. I don't know. Looks like a glad is starting to come up over there. So hopefully we'll get some of my glads up. That'll be pretty. Starting to come together. It really is. Well, I decided to use what I have. And I don't have fresh soil to put in these, but I did plant peanuts in it last year. And I believe peanuts are considered, I don't know, are peanuts considered a legume or not? I don't know. Maybe not. Anyway, I did not have fresh soil to put in here, but I did want to get the weeds out and plant something else. And I was planning on doing like flowers and herbs, but I really just did not want to waste the Swiss chard babies that I had growing in the greenhouse. So those got planted in here along with the red leaf amaranth. So we will see how they do in the tire. Picked a few more strawberries tonight, and John and I walked out here for the evening. Plenty more are getting closer to being ripe. Unfortunately, I'm just not seeing tons all ripening at once. Hopefully that will happen soon. I did get the back of the strawberry bed weeded this morning. Found some more bronze fennel and possibly regular fennel growing back there, so we left little bits of it there, here and there. Still have this area and into the middle here that needs to be weeded. There's a little bit way in the back of that section there. Along the side here, it just keeps creeping in. Hello, Miss Georgia. How are you? Did you discover the neighbors have cows this morning? You were bellowing back and forth with them, weren't you? I think they discovered you this morning. Did they think you were a lost cow? They were trying to call you to come back home? Yeah, y'all were standing at the corners of your pastures, hollering at each other, weren't you? Yeah, who's a pretty girl? Pretty face. Except you look so mad. Oh well. I'm definitely enjoying walking out here and seeing some food growing. Some of my tomatoes are getting yellow leaves. I'm going to have to look that up and see what it means. See if it means they're missing some nutrients, or they could just be, you know, suffering transplant shock from being dug up 3 times. That is thoroughly possible as well. Oh my goodness, I don't know. You probably can't even see it, but on top of the berm wall post, there's a robin, and its mate is over in the sumac trees. They have a nest up in this pavilion, right up in this corner, just up under the eaves. And I was sitting over in my happy place on the other side of that sheet hanging down is my table and chairs. And I heard these 2 robins putting up such a ruckus. They were flying and fluttering, and they like fly out from the pavilion, but then they just sort of hover there, which is not their normal flight pattern for robins. And they were having a hissy fit, and I was like, good Lord, what's going on? So I got up and I kind of came over this way, and I'm looking, I'm like, is there something up there? I don't see anything. And then I got closer and I saw shadows moving, and right up along the side beam up there, and coming from that one up to this one here in front was Lucky, the tiger kitten. And she came up to the center, walked through the center beam to the other end, and just jumped all the way down. Of course, like any cat, landed on its feet. Yeah, don't mind my grubby garden hands. Ugh. Anyway, yeah, she just dropped right down, took off. I think she thought she was in trouble. She wouldn't come to me when I called her, but I didn't figure she was in trouble. It's up to the robins to protect their babies. Laws of nature, survival of the fittest, all that lovely. Lovely half moon tonight.